one, do you all have any comments?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, please go, Richard. I appreciate that, Commissioner Westmoreland.
Okay, if we're going to go down this road with, we're going right back to where we were in 2015 in these city council hearings with some of these comments. So, commissioners, I would say we have to address some of this stuff. So, does everybody here remember what was on the Liberty Place monument? Probably not, and I'm hoping any of the folks listening listen up to this. The inscription on the Liberty Place monument said, "United States troops took over the state government and reinstated the usurpers. But the national election, November 1876, recognized white supremacy in the South and gave us our state." And that's the mindset that we're here talking about. That's really the bottom line to all of this that we're talking about. We go through a lot of pro forma and a lot of process and procedure, but the bottom line is the issue that we are dealing with has been here a long time, and now we're chipping away at it in the last 50 years, and a lot of people are upset about it. They don't want to admit it, but whoever wrote that inscription, they admitted it. They said it right up front, and the issue is white supremacy. So let's think for a second. I think we talked about 95% of the streets named in New Orleans are white men. And so if you look at every street that was named in New Orleans before 1950, I bet you it's 100%. And that's the issue that we're talking about. So in the decades of the past, our streets were named, let's face it, guys, by white supremacists. For the most part. I'm not going to say everybody walking the planet back then or walking in New Orleans was a white supremacist, but that was kind of the rule of the day. We had white-only signs everywhere in the city, in the state, and that's just how it was. So all of our streets, the monuments, were put up by those people who are okay with those things. And I'm not going to say every street name or every monument that was put up was an attempt to further that cause, but I can tell you what, the 4 monuments we took down, those most certainly were. All of the streets that we're talking about here, yeah, that's what it's about, guys. It's hard to admit, it's hard to talk about, and we don't talk about it enough. But we're getting these comments by guys like Charles Marsala and Gary Mason. These are the same guys we're wrestling with this issue with back in 2015. So here's the thing. Yeah. These are today's what's left over from those days. We're slowly but surely righting the wrongs of yesterday. It wasn't that long ago that, in a couple of our lifetimes on this committee, when we had white-only signs in New Orleans. So these street names and the monuments that we took down a couple of years ago, it's the same thing. These are just a little bit more subtle, but these are today's white-only signs that we're removing. So, the Confederacy, America's Third Reich. It's that simple. And people want to keep talking about Robert E. Lee and this myth. The head of the history department at West Point just came out with a book. Please educate yourself on really who Robert E. Lee was. He's not the person that we all grew up thinking he was, as folks, citizens in the South. And I am one of those as well, even though I wasn't born in New Orleans. So anyway, so I'm going to throw it out to other commissioners. We can't keep listening to this babble that's borderline, right back where we were in 2015, some of the most racist things I ever heard in my life in the city council chambers, without speaking up a little bit and calling this out for what it is and reminding everybody what it is we're actually here for.
Thank you, Commissioner Westmoreland. Do any other commissioners have any comments?